Hi, this is Desi Flores, and I'm here with Stanford, who is trying out for this series of TUF. How are you doing today, Paris?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. So you're how many days away now?
Well, today's Saturday. I got to travel on Monday night, and it's on Tuesday, so it's coming up real quick.
That's awesome. So is this the biggest thing that you've ever done in your career so far?
You know, absolutely. It's obviously the biggest opportunity that I have. Looking forward to it, and I mean, it just has the potential to really catapult, my career and take it to somewhere it's never been. So it's very exciting.
It is. How long have you been in martial arts?
I had my first fight about 4 years ago. So in the grand scheme of it, I'm pretty new to it, but I've made leaps and bounds and made a lot of noise in a small amount of time, but I've always been interested and somewhat involved in mixed martial arts or martial arts in some capacity growing up. So wrestled in high school, had a little experience with Taekwondo as a kid, but not much. But like I said, I always had that kind of just drive to want to do something like that.
In you?
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu, it's about 7 years now.
Okay.
So it's been a great journey. I've definitely made some headway. Won nationals, won a lot of local state championships, things like that. And, it's been good. It's been a great process, and now I have the opportunity to be the professor and head instructor here at Fight Ready. So it's awesome.
Who's your professor?
My professor right now is, since I was a white belt, same guy, Carlos Frias, ranked number 6 in the world right now. Amazing person, very inspirational. It just helped me to really take my, not just jiu-jitsu, but my mind to another level and just be mentally tough. So I really appreciate everything he's done for me.
So you went from wrestling to jiu-jitsu, and I know you compete pretty often.
Yes.
Is that correct? Right, okay. So what would you say then jiu-jitsu is your strength?
It definitely is my strength. It's my most comfortable on the ground, although, having a new head coach, over the last year, Santino DeFranco, he's really taken all of us to another level to where I feel like, I enjoy standing up. Before in the past, I felt like I was so quick to get the fight to the ground, out of a comfort kind of thing, and now my comfort zone is just being in that fight, so it's good.
That's good. Yeah, I hear a lot of great things about Santino.
Yes.
And being a ring girl, I hear all the corners.
Okay.
So I didn't used to know who he was, but I just recognized his voice immediately because he is the calmest corner I have ever heard. I'm a ring girl for LFA, WFF, I've done Combat to Americas, Iron Boy for the boxing, and I mean, he's just like so calm. Move your hand here. Go. It's just I first met him. I think I didn't meet him, but I saw him corner in Mexico like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I was like, who is this guy? Yeah, I've never actually met him, but he seems like a great coach.
No, absolutely. He's a great coach. He's a very intelligent person. I've never met somebody that was able to kind of be genuine to who they are, at the same time be able to switch it up to give you exactly what you need individually. So he coaches for the person. He doesn't just fit into this box kind of thing,
Right.
He's very versatile in that aspect. And on top of it, like you say, when he corners you, he's very calm, and it's hard to be anything but calm when you have a voice like that in your corner that you're listening to that is just so even, and it's the best advice in every moment that you get, whether you listen to it or not is up to you. And of course in the fight there's a lot going on, and sometimes it's hard to respond, but if you respond to what he's saying, it's a great possibility you're going to come out on top and win.
So what's the toughest fight that you've had so far? What was your toughest challenge in general before this?
It's between one of two. I had probably my first pro fight was really tough. Just a lot of things going on in my life, relationship change and ending, moving up here to Scottsdale from Mesa. I actually had the flu during the fight. It was just like all the worst case scenarios happened, and just like I said at the time in that fight, just making it to the fight was a win in itself. But getting the win, getting the W was a bonus. It was great. The other one that comes to mind, I had went at it with Mike Hamill. Who's a local tough fighter, and really tough wrestler. Was a little just overwhelmed at the beginning, and I didn't have as much experience at the time, so I could attribute it to a bit of that. But it was a bit of a comeback, getting an armbar in the second round. But it was just epic,
Nice.
So that was a great.
Those comebacks are always fun.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Okay, so what does martial arts mean to you? What does it mean to you to get on this tough series and have your chance at getting into the UFC?
Yeah, martial arts in general, you know, is just a way of life. It's not just like a hobby or something that you do, you know, on certain days. It's a way where you can change yourself mentally and physically, spiritually, emotionally, to be the best version of yourself. That's what I see it as, at least. And you know, I don't find myself to be as much of a fighter as I am a mixed martial artist. You know, an artist uses a canvas. I think this cage is a canvas, and you can create beautiful things within it. You know, and then the colors are kind of like your palette is going to be all the techniques and moves that you know to apply. You know, so getting on this TUF show, like I said, would be an amazing, not just experience, but it would be an opportunity that would just keep paying itself over and over, you know, and it would just, like I said, propel me to a stage and a level I've never been on, but always dreamt about. So it's huge.
See, and I noticed that when somebody comes into this sport and they're really into a martial art before it, there's some people that are very well-rounded fighters because they know they want to get into MMA. Maybe they wrestled before and then they just start learning all the different martial arts. But I feel like when somebody comes into this from jiu-jitsu, it's usually a real passion for martial arts to the core of it, that the whole gentle art concept, everything you just explained. I really noticed that from the classic traditional jiu-jitsu professor.
Yeah, I think with jiu-jitsu in itself versus a lot of martial arts, you know, it's one that it's really tough. You know, you might meet a lot of people in, say, taekwondo or karate, you know, in the States at least, that have a black belt, and it's not as respected as, say, someone who has a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. I think obviously it takes a lot longer to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You know, they say average of the person that does attain a black belt takes about 10 years. So I mean, I know kids that have been doing karate, you know, for 3 or 4 years, and they have a black belt in karate, you know. But then they're still a child developing, and it's kind of ridiculous to think a child's going to be able to defend themselves against an adult. So like in jiu-jitsu, you can't even get a black belt until you're 18. You know, 16 before you can even get a blue belt, you know, which is the second belt in the adult system. So I think setting those kind of standards make it a lot more respectable, and just make it one of the last martial arts that people respect the black belt. You know? So I appreciate it for what it is. And, definitely when I come across people in the community that do jiu-jitsu, they tend to be very genuine people, very passionate people that are humble. And there's kind of a running joke in jiu-jitsu about the nicer the guy is, they're probably more dangerous than anybody.
That's kind of like how people say the quiet ones.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's true. It's such a community. I mean, you can travel around and people just kind of like, they link you to your school and who you're with. And I mean, I don't even really do jiu-jitsu that much, and I've made friends all over the world.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's such a different kind of a thing than anything else I've ever experienced. So, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it's a lot of feeling going on. So it's definitely an emotional journey. And this is just adding to it, you know, so I'm really good about doing like meditation, things like that to keep myself settled and even. So, you know, underneath everything, you know, there's some nervousness, a bit of anxiety to it, but you know, I believe in God, and if it's meant to be, then it's going to be. And, you know, faith without works is dead, so I have to do something for it to come into fruition. So I've done my part. I got my ticket booked. I got my hotel. I'm heading to Vegas, and I'm gonna do everything I can to
so exciting.
Yeah, make it happen. So
who's going with you?
For right now, it's gonna be myself. I have a buddy of mine named Tony, who's a videographer. He's gonna help me document some of the process. And then I know people that are going up there already. Not necessarily traveling with them, but I'm sure I'll see them up there. You know, there's people like Kyle Stewart, John Long, there's a few others.
Keone Diggs
from Arizona that are heading up there, so I'm sure I'll see all of them up there as well.
All right, well, thank you, Paris, and I appreciate you coming on here, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Awesome, thanks so much.
Thank you.